Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Scott Noble, the athletic director of Western New Mexico, and what an honor it is to have you come in here to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Well, thank you. It's a great joy for me to be here.
Well, we have a lot of chemistry. A guy named Tom Dragmaster that's a graduate
Yes.
and probably, is something that you're learning that is a very valuable tool for success of your institution.
You bet. The Dragmeister name is very popular in Silver City and certainly in Western New Mexico and in the state of New Mexico. I'm finding out, of course, with his son up here and of course his brother being a head basketball coach at Western as well as athletic director. So that name is very strong and very important to us at Western New Mexico as well as Silver City.
Really give us kind of a Reader's Digest. Let the audience, let people in New Mexico kind of know where you came from, your upbringing, and then why are you in Silver City?
Sure. Well, that's a really good story. Born and raised in a border town in southern Kansas. Our family farm was in Oklahoma, and grew up a hog farmer. And both my parents were teachers. And had an opportunity to play football at the college level and went on and played at Dodge City Community College and then on to Western Illinois University. I finished there and got my master's degree in graduate assistantship at Eastern Illinois University. And from there I started coaching, and I was a college football coach for a long time. Spent time, of course, at Eastern Illinois, Independence Community College in Kansas, Chadron State College up in Nebraska, Fort Hays State University, and then there came a day where I started having a family, and we have three. We have a son and two daughters, and at that time they were at that age where I was never home, and so what I did was we got out of coaching and moved over to administration in hopes of being able to spend some more time at home. From there, we went to Great Bend, Kansas. I was the district athletic director at Great Bend, Kansas. And there to Wichita State University. I was at Wichita State University with Jim Schaus and that staff. And from there, went on to Atwood, Kansas as an athletic director, and then Cheyenne. Got out of the college level, went to the high school level so that I could see my kids through high school, which was very important to Debbie and I. So stepped out of the college circle, went to the high school level, and was at Cheyenne, Wyoming, in their new high school they opened up, Cheyenne South. I was there 5 years, and Laramie County Community College called and asked if I would be interested in the junior college athletic director position. So I was at the junior college athletic position there at Laramie County Community College in Cheyenne. And I was walking out of a meeting and the phone rang. And on the other end it was a search firm, and they were looking for an athletic director at Western New Mexico University, and they asked me, "Do you know of Western New Mexico University?" And I.
What did you know of New Mexico at the time?
Yeah, exactly. And I said yes because we'd been in the RMAC. I'd coached in the RMAC. Now at that time we never played Western New Mexico, but I knew of it and knew who it was. And I said no. And a couple of days later, they called back again and said, "Just look at it. Your profile fits of what we're looking for, and would you just take a look at it?" And I said, "Okay, I'll give it 4 days." And so I came home and I sat down with my wife. All of our kids are in college, are gone now, and my wife spent time searching the community and the region and New Mexico as a whole. And I spent time researching the institution, our administration, our regents. And after 4 days, I called the search firm and I told them that yes, I would be interested. And things fell into place. I got to meet Dr. Joe Shepard, our president, and very fortunate to have a president who who is not only in support of athletics, but has done a great job with the institution as a whole over his 6-7 years that he's been there, and helping redefine Western New Mexico University, beautification of our campus, support with athletics and all of our programs. And of course, our regents are very, very important and very instrumental to our success as well. With all of those pieces in place, Steve, it was the right move at the right time for Debbie and I. And now that we have been there almost a year now, we have fallen in love with the community. The support is fantastic. And that's why I'm here in Albuquerque, is, you know, we're looking for those lost Mustangs and try to bring them back and tie our communities back into our institution, and really excited to be a part of that.
Well, I tell you, you know, it's here, I'm a native New Mexican, okay?
Yes.
So, and I won't date myself, okay? 'Cause I don't want to go there on that part of it, but, you know, 2 years ago, Tom and I actually, that's the first time I've ever been to Silver City.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, one, what a great drive from Albuquerque.
Yes.
I mean, it's, you don't realize, you know, the land of enchantment. It's like you're in the desert, and all of a sudden you're in the mountains, and then all of a sudden you're in this, you know, this beautiful little historical town.
Yes, yeah. That was the first thing when Debbie and I, of course, were looking at pictures on campus through the computer, and the Gila National Forest is absolutely beautiful. And of course, when you think of Southwest New Mexico, you don't think of forest, and you don't think of mountains and hills and rolling country. You don't think of that. You think of desert. And once we saw the photos, that's when Debbie said, you know what, Scott, let's take a look at this, because this is a beautiful place. When we interviewed, when we came down, Dr. Shepard invited Debbie to come with during my interview, and we flew in at night.
Did you go into
Yeah, we
Arizona
flew,
or into Albuquerque?
yeah, we flew from Denver to Albuquerque, and then Albuquerque to Silver on the late flight. And so it was dark when we came in. And then, of course, it's a 20-minute drive from Grant County Airport into Silver City. And you go through Hurley, and you go through Baird, and the winding roads, and it's dark, and I'm going, oh my gosh, you know, where is this place? And we got into the Holiday Inn, which is there on the east side of town. So you're really not into Silver City yet. And all of a sudden we pull into the Holiday Inn, and it was late, and I had an early day, and so we just went to bed. When we got up in the morning and we left the Holiday Inn, we pulled out onto Highway 180 and turned south to go into town. The sunshine was shining on the campus, because the campus is just up on the hill there in Silver, just on the west end of town, up on the hill. And the sun, the city of Silver was still in the shade, but the sun had crested the mountains just enough to where it was shining on the campus. And it was an unbelievable, beautiful sight. So that is one thing that Debbie and I, and even our kids, all three of our kids have been to Silver, love it. Debbie and I have picked up fly fishing, and we love to do that. We hike the mountain areas, the cliff dwellings, like you said and mentioned the history of it. Debbie and I are very much outdoorsy, and we enjoy going to those different places and hike and enjoy the outdoors. And there's no better place in New Mexico, in my opinion, to be able to enjoy the outdoors like there is in the Silver City area.
Well, Scott, we're going to go to the Dream Style Top 10 Plays of the Week, come back and talk more about Western New Mexico.
Just barely, and Isles will step into a deep three. And Steve, we've talked. And Caxioli changed his mind midair.
resources they've made Volcano execute in the half court. Strong. Hands of Terry. Josh gonna bounce it beautifully ahead. Here comes Barton in transition. He's got numbers to Flores underneath for the lay-in off the win.
Got to be very careful because he has 4 fouls. And Wamos is just taking over tonight.
On the near side, it's Ramos. Ramos, a nice handoff on the.
No. On a long rebound, and Hill, the freshman, tapped it to himself. In transition to Aragon, and he slams it home. See if he wants to dunk in transition. Send it in. Terry, good look at a 3 for Josh. No! Oh, what a putback!
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We got Scott Noble here, athletic director of Western New Mexico, and well, you found Silver City, a little silver in the land, but you know, just meeting you a couple times, met you at the pit,
Yes.
or Green Style remodeling the pit, I want to say, and just from talking to you for a couple hours during a game. One thing I learned about you is that you evaluate. Before you do things, you evaluate. So when you first evaluated your situation, what were the steps that you thought you needed to take to move forward?
That's a great question, Steve. It's a little bit different for everybody. What we try to do in our experiences is take things that worked for us. Being around others in this profession, you learn some of the techniques, some of the skills that they have to help change things. When I was part of the Wichita State staff and working with Jim Schaus, Wichita State at that time was very similar to Western New Mexico in that their success, they'd struggled in the past. Their facilities were older and deteriorating. And I got to be part of a staff that changed the culture, which in turn changed the performance outcomes of that university. And now, of course, Wichita State is very, very respected, not only with baseball, which was the big sport for Wichita State when I was there in the late 90s and early 2000s. But now, of course, it's a basketball school. Their volleyball has been to the NCAA tournament as well. So being part of that transition was really exciting. My time at Chadron State College, going through that transition from NAIA to NCAA Division II, taking programs that did not have a lot of success on the court or on the stadium to where 5-10 years ago, Chadron State was a premier Division II institution in terms of football, and right now have really changed their programs with basketball as well, adding programs. They've added softball since I've been there, which is really exciting for that institution. Taking those experiences, Steve, and sitting down with our coaching staff at Western New Mexico, my first my first thing with our coaches was understand that coming in February of last year, I had to watch to see how the program functioned, to find out what was broke and whether or not we could fix it. So that first semester from February through June, it was really just watching and seeing the program run. And it was quick to find out that not that Western New Mexico had a bad culture. In my opinion, we did not have a culture to stand on. And so what I had to do is I had to bring a foundation that we can build our department on, that then our program and our coaches can build their culture on. Culture is just a word until you breathe life into it. And so what we did was we came up with 4 cornerstones for our athletic department. The first one is selflessness, which is the giving of our talents. Next is discipline, which is not consequence. Discipline is inner strength to work hard, do the right things for your program. Next is work ethic, and work ethic is not about time. Work ethic is about production. And then finally, kindness. And as you know, kindness is not a talent. Kindness has to be taught. And we are going to be kind to each other on campus. I walk the campus every day, and I talk to directors and department heads and deans and faculty and staff as well, and just have conversations, meaningful conversations. And that's very important to me.
Not just about sports, just about,
it's about our community. When I first got to Silver, I came in early. My contract date was February 2nd, and I came in the end of January, just to get a feel for our community. And sitting with our community, I sensed that there was fracture between our community and our institution for whatever reasons. And my job is to mend those. My job is to re-bridge our community into our campus and vice versa. And that's why I'm up here. That's why I'm in Albuquerque. It's not just our local community, it's our state communities. In my opinion, our recruiting base was it was wrong. We weren't recruiting the right areas first. Our primary recruiting has to be 4 hours loop around Silver City, because we want moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles to come to Silver City to watch their kids play and spend money in our community. And that is where the primary focus of our recruiting has to be, which is the state of New Mexico first and foremost, El Paso, Tucson, Phoenix. So when you have Albuquerque's, Cruces, El Paso, Tucson, Phoenix, those are big communities that have excellent athletics, and that is where our base has to be. And so we've changed that. And that started this fall. This fall's recruiting now starts with that area, 4-hour loop around Silver City is our primary area. And I am also a recruiter. I have to recruit as well. It's not just our coaches. It's me. I have to be out in our high schools. I have to have relationships with the athletic directors in our communities so that, again, we can tie and brand Western New Mexico to the great state of New Mexico.
Well, Scott, we're going to come back and we're going to talk more about your philosophy and also the good success that's going to happen.
Great, thank you.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Day Show. We have Scott Noble, athletic director at Western New Mexico, and what a great you got goosebumps coming on me. I'm ready to get signed up.
Are you ready to get signed up?
I got 1 year eligibility. I just want to let you know that could happen. But last night we went to Buffalo Wild Wings and had a great conversation. Got to watch the national championship, but something that really, is you're making a positive out of negative, the athletic facilities, and that it was something that was when I was listening to your conversation is you got to make that a positive, and it's not just about the facilities, it's about the institution, and it's about the culture, back to building that culture.
Yes.
And touch on that a little bit, because it really opened my eyes up a little bit, because I think kids today have lost reality of really what college is really about.
You bet. Well, our facilities are older. It's not that they're not adequate; they are adequate, but our facilities are older. And when you recruit young people today, young people are more about what they see rather than who we are. And when we are out recruiting now, we spend a lot of time talking about who we are, not what you see. When we bring our recruits in, we tell them that you're going to see a lot of concrete block and paint. And that's basically what we are right now. Our facilities are older. I mean, my guys, Tom played in our gym there at Drags Court. And that's okay. It is who we are. And what I mean by that, again, is breathing life into the word culture. We've taken those 4 cornerstones, and then we came up with a cultural statement. And our cultural statement in the athletic department is Experience Mustang Magic. And MAGIC stands for masterful, accountable, genuine, inclusive, and of course, competitive. And what we have done is we have taken those words and we have turned a word into something tangible that a student athlete can understand. Being masterful is not only about being a great player or being a great athlete. It's about being masterful at everything that you do. It is about being a great person. My first day with all of the student athletes, all 241, my conversation with them is when we get up in the morning, we will make our bed. That's the first thing that we do. Our alarm goes off, we get up in the morning, and we make our bed. We've accomplished a task, we've become masterful at something. It becomes habit, and what it does is it sets our day of getting off on the right foot, okay? And I will go around the hallways and I'll just check with athletes, have you made your bed today? And, just to remind them that those are the things we do.
Well, that's a little philosophy of John Wooden. I mean, if you pyramid of his success.
Absolutely.
I mean, it just seems like it's right there in front of you.
So. You bet. And then being accountable for coaches. Coaches can only hold players accountable for their words, their behavior, and their effort. Not whether or not they made or missed a free throw. We can't scold an athlete for dropping a pass. We can't scold an athlete for missing a free throw or striking out. That happens. It'll always happen. But we are going to be accountable for our words, our actions, and our behavior. Those are things that they control as athletes. And that's where our accountability piece steps in. Being genuine is being honest. Being honest and truthful with who you are, being honest and truthful with others. And that again, that has to be taught. I is inclusive, and that's a great thing about athletics. Athletics is about being inclusive. We come from different races. We come from different populations, different environments, different parts of the country, different parts of the world. And to come together and create a team atmosphere, I mean, that's what's exciting. That's what's exciting about athletics. And then, of course, finally, the C, being competitive. That's why we are who we are. We are an NCAA Division II institution. Our philosophy is creating opportunity for student athletes and having competitive excellence within their sport. Becoming competitive takes time, and we have to spend time teaching coaches how to coach through professional development, through me watching practices, with them going out and sharing ideas with other coaches so that they can themselves learn from others. Being competitive is not just on the field of play, and that's where some other people, they get confused. Competitive in the classroom. We want to teach our student athletes how to compete in the classroom as well. And once you do that, then our GPA goes up, our retention rates go up, we start seeing more wins on the scoreboard, and everything just naturally falls into place. Now, that's how I see it, and that's what we are trying to do right now at Western New Mexico. And hopefully within this next year, you will see some really exciting things happening because of our foundational cornerstones and experiencing the Mustang magic.
It would be inappropriate unless we talk about a border region, one that you had lunch with, Dan Salzwedel, and he's everything that you just said, he embraces and lives that to the tooth. Yes,
with Dan and being involved with the High School Activity Association like he has in the past, he really understands the importance of culture when we talk about different departments. Not only wanting student success on the field of play, but wanting student success in the classrooms as well.
I'll tell you, we're running out of time real quick, but, it just seemed like we just sat down and this thing just flew.
It does.
It just flew and everything, but, one thing I really embrace is, you're picking that 4 hour radius of
Yes.
Silver City and getting out and what you're finding out, which I didn't realize is just how many people that are right there just want to be talked to and
Yes.
brought into as a family.
You bet. That's very important. And it is my hope to be able to come and spend a couple of days every month in Albuquerque and just making and building those relationships.
Well, Scott, thanks for coming on, and we'll see more of you
Thank you.
on a monthly basis.
I appreciate that. Thank you.